Have you ever wondered why so many young men seem to ignore the timeless advice that could change their lives forever? Today, we're diving deep into wisdom that many don't know, shared by an 82-year-old woman whose life experiences have shaped some of the most powerful lessons on love, life, and success. In this video, we're not just sharing advice. We're uncovering secrets that challenge modern norms and invite you to rethink everything you thought you knew about living a fulfilled life. Stay tuned until the end because we're going to reveal some eye-opening truths that could transform your perspective and put you on the right track for a better future. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Your support means everything, and if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really want to hear your thoughts on this topic, so make sure to drop a comment below. Now let's jump right in and start this incredible journey of discovery. We live in a world where everything moves at lightning speed, and it often feels like the wisdom of the past is being left behind. Every day, young men are bombarded with new trends, quick fixes, and flashy ideas that promise success and fulfillment. But rarely do they take a moment to pause and listen to those who have truly lived through the ups and downs of life. Today, we're going to change that by diving deep into the background and context of some truly timeless advice, shared by an 82-year-old woman whose life experiences offer a perspective that many young men don't even realize they're missing. Imagine growing up in a time when life wasn't defined by social media likes or viral trends, but by real human connection and experiences that took years to shape. Back then, wisdom wasn't something you could download onto your phone. It was earned over decades of trial and error, heartbreak, and triumph. Our mentor, with her gentle voice and candid honesty, represents that timeless reservoir of knowledge. Her advice is not wrapped in the gloss of modern self-help gurus, but is rooted in a reality where every mistake, every victory, and every moment of hardship contributed to her understanding of life. And trust me, this isn't just old-fashioned sentimentality. It's a powerful reminder that there's more to life than chasing the next big thing. Let's start by taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture. In today's society, there is an overwhelming emphasis on youth. The media, the internet, and even popular culture often celebrate the vibrancy of youth as if it's the only stage of life worth living. This constant focus on being young can sometimes lead to a dismissive attitude toward the experiences of older generations. Yet, if you look closely, you'll see that some of the best advice, the kind that truly transforms lives, comes from people who have already seen and done it all. Our mentor's journey is a testament to that. She grew up during a time of significant historical change, times when people had to navigate real-world challenges without the convenience of technology or the instant gratification that modern society is accustomed to. There's a certain magic in the way older generations have managed to hold on to values that seem to be fading away in our digital age. Values like patience, perseverance, and the importance of genuine human connection. For instance, think about the simple yet profound act of having a conversation face-to-face, where you truly listen and share without any distractions. That's something that was once a cornerstone of daily life, but today, with smartphones in every hand and constant notifications pulling our attention, it can feel like a lost art. Our mentor experienced a world where people took the time to talk, to understand one another, and to build relationships that weren't measured in likes or followers, but in genuine care and commitment. As we explore her advice, it's important to consider the backdrop against which her wisdom was formed. Imagine a time when communities were tightly knit, and every individual played a role in the collective success of the group. In those days, the value of every person was recognized, and the wisdom passed down from one generation to the next was seen as an essential guide for navigating life's challenges. Even though we live in a modern era with unprecedented access to information, the insights that come from real-life experiences, like the kind our mentor offers, are often more impactful than any online trend or viral video. They remind us that while the world around us may change rapidly, some fundamental truths remain the same. Our mentor's story is one of resilience, love, loss, and triumph. She has witnessed the rise and fall of industries, the shifting tides of cultural norms, and the evolution of relationships from a time when courtship was an art form to today's fast-paced dating scene. Her background is filled with rich experiences that have taught her the value of hard work, the importance of integrity, and the power of staying true to oneself. She believes that the most profound lessons are often the ones that come from the heart, and that no amount of modern innovation can replace the insights gained through a life well lived. One of the key elements that sets her advice apart is its authenticity. Unlike much of what you see online today, where messages can be distorted or diluted for mass appeal, her words are grounded in real-life experiences. She doesn't just talk about success in abstract terms. She tells stories about overcoming adversity, about the mistakes she made, and the lessons learned along the way. This kind of honesty is refreshing in an age where superficiality often reigns supreme. It's a reminder that true wisdom comes from being vulnerable, from admitting that you don't have all the answers, and from learning to grow from every experience, whether good or bad. Now let's talk about the research and ideas that have influenced this perspective. In recent years, there has been growing interest in the benefits of intergenerational learning. Studies have shown that when young people engage with older generations, they not only gain valuable insights, but also develop a deeper sense of empathy and understanding. For example, researchers in the field of psychology have found that older adults possess a unique blend of practical knowledge and emotional wisdom that can help guide younger people through difficult decisions. There's even evidence suggesting that intergenerational mentoring can lead to better mental health outcomes and increased life satisfaction. While some of these findings are still emerging, the general consensus is that wisdom, especially that which is passed down through personal stories and experiences, holds an irreplaceable value. In today's fast-paced world, where information is available at the click of a button, it's easy to forget the importance of context. You might see a quote on social media, but without understanding the circumstances behind it, its true meaning can be lost. Our mentor's advice is deeply contextual. It's a window into a different time, a time when every experience was a lesson, and every day was an opportunity to learn something new. There's a certain richness in that approach, a kind of depth that you simply don't get from a tweet or a soundbite. It's about understanding the journey, not just the destination, and recognizing that every setback is just a setup for a comeback. Moreover, her perspective is also a commentary on the way we value time and experiences. In a culture that often prioritizes speed and efficiency, she reminds us that life is not a race. There's a lot to be said for slowing down, taking the time to reflect, and appreciating the moments that make up our everyday lives. Whether it's enjoying a quiet morning with a cup of coffee or taking a long walk in nature, these small rituals can have a profound impact on our overall well-being. In fact, many modern studies have highlighted the benefits of mindfulness and taking time out from the hustle and bustle of daily life. These practices, which our mentor has embraced wholeheartedly, can lead to better mental health, increased creativity, and a greater sense of fulfillment. The cultural shift toward valuing youth over experience has many roots, including economic pressures, technological advancements, and even media representations that glamorize instant success. However, what many people fail to realize is that the lessons learned over a lifetime cannot be replicated by any amount of technological innovation. True wisdom, like the kind our mentor shares, comes from facing challenges head-on, from enduring hardships, and from learning how to find joy in the simple things. It's about understanding that every chapter of life has its own unique beauty, and that growth is a continuous process that doesn't end with age. There's also a fascinating interplay between tradition and modernity in her advice. On one hand, she speaks about the importance of respecting tradition, of honoring the lessons passed down from previous generations. On the other hand, she recognizes that the world is constantly changing and that we must be willing to adapt and learn new things. This balance between holding on to what's timeless and embracing what's new is one of the most compelling aspects of her wisdom. It's a reminder that while technology and trends come and go, the core principles that guide a fulfilling life remain constant. For example, consider her take on relationships. In her day, relationships were built on a foundation of mutual respect, patience, and genuine care for one another. These aren't just outdated ideals, they're principles that are supported by modern research on emotional intelligence and relationship satisfaction. Studies have shown that couples who invest time in meaningful conversations and shared experiences tend to have stronger, more resilient relationships. Her advice is a call to action for young men to rethink how they approach dating and relationships, to move away from the superficial and to cultivate connections that are deep, respectful, and long-lasting. Her insights on financial wisdom are equally compelling. Growing up in a time when financial stability was a hard-earned achievement, she learned the value of saving, budgeting, and making careful, thoughtful investments. In contrast to today's culture of instant gratification and disposable wealth, her advice is grounded in the reality that true financial security comes from discipline, patience, and long-term planning. Economic studies often reinforce the idea that those who manage their money wisely tend to lead more stable and stress-free lives. It's not about being frugal to the point of misery. It's about understanding that every financial decision is a stepping stone toward a more secure future. Another key aspect of her background is her deep appreciation for health and well-being. In her younger years, health wasn't taken for granted. Every day was a reminder of how fragile life can be, and every moment was an opportunity to care for oneself. Her approach to health isn't about chasing the latest fad or miracle cure. It's about embracing simple, sustainable habits that nurture both the body and the mind. Modern research supports this notion, showing that practices like regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient sleep are the cornerstones of long-term health. More importantly, her advice is a reminder that taking care of yourself is not just about adding years to your life, but about adding life to your years. It's also worth noting the role of community in her life. Growing up in a close-knit environment, she learned early on that success and happiness are not solitary pursuits. They're the result of collective effort and shared support. Today, in an increasingly individualistic society, her message is a powerful reminder of the importance of community. Whether it's the simple act of lending a helping hand or the more formal commitment of volunteer work, being part of a community enriches our lives in ways that money can't buy. Research in social psychology consistently shows that strong social bonds are linked to better mental and physical health, and her life is a living testament to the value of nurturing those bonds. What makes her background even more intriguing is the historical context in which she grew up. Imagine a world before the internet, when communication was slower and information was passed down through word of mouth and handwritten letters. Every piece of advice was hard-won, every story was a lesson, and every relationship was built on trust and face-to-face interaction. That's the kind of context that shaped her thinking, and it's a context that is often lost in today's digital age. Yet, despite the vast differences between then and now, the core of her wisdom remains strikingly relevant. It's a bridge between the past and the present, a reminder that while the tools we use may change, the values that guide us do not. Her life story is filled with examples of how resilience, adaptability, and a genuine love for learning can help you navigate even the toughest of challenges. There were times when she faced significant hardships, times when the odds were stacked against her and every day was a struggle. But instead of giving in to despair, she chose to learn from those experiences, using them as stepping stones to a richer, more meaningful life. Her ability to find hope and opportunity in even the darkest moments is a lesson in itself, and it serves as a powerful reminder that adversity is not the end, but rather a part of the journey toward growth and self-discovery. In today's context, where everything seems temporary and disposable, her steady, thoughtful approach offers a stark contrast. It challenges the notion that success is about quick wins and instant rewards. Instead, it's about investing in yourself, nurturing your relationships, and being patient as you work toward a future that is built on solid, lasting principles. It's a perspective that many young men might find refreshing, especially in a world where shortcuts and hacks are often touted as the keys to success. By understanding this background and context, you can see that the advice we're sharing isn't just another set of rules to follow, it's a way of life. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, from the highs of love and joy to the lows of loss and disappointment. It's about realizing that every moment, no matter how small, has the potential to teach you something valuable. And most importantly, it's about recognizing that sometimes the best lessons come from those who have walked the path before you. So, as you listen to these words and reflect on the stories and insights shared by our remarkable mentor, remember that you're not just hearing advice, you're tapping into a legacy of wisdom that has been honed over decades. It's a legacy that calls on you to slow down, to appreciate the beauty of life's simple moments, and to build a future that is deeply rooted in the timeless values of respect, gratitude, and genuine connection. Whether you're at a crossroads in your life or simply looking for a little guidance on how to navigate the challenges of modern living, this background and context offers a solid foundation for understanding why some advice is worth more than gold. Take a moment to imagine what it would be like to have a mentor who has seen it all, a mentor who can share stories of resilience, love, and triumph, and who can show you that every setback is just an opportunity in disguise. That's the kind of wisdom we're talking about here. It's a reminder that while the world around you may be changing in ways you can't always control, the lessons that truly matter have stood the test of time. They're the guiding lights that can help you find your way even in the most challenging of circumstances. And as you continue on your journey, remember that this isn't just about learning from someone else's experiences. It's about taking those lessons and making them your own. It's about embracing a mindset that values growth, authenticity, and the beauty of a life well lived. In a society that often glorifies speed and superficiality, there's something incredibly powerful about pausing to listen, reflect, and learn from the wisdom that only time can bring. As we set the stage with this rich background and context, I hope you feel inspired to dig deeper, to question what you think you know, and to open your mind to a world of possibilities that might just change your life. This isn't just a story from the past, it's a roadmap for the future. A future where you can build a life that's not only successful by modern standards, but is also fulfilling on a much deeper level. And that, my friends, is a lesson that comes from the heart, a lesson that many young men truly need to hear. So let this be your invitation to step away from the noise and take a closer look at the wisdom that has been passed down through generations. Embrace the chance to learn from someone who has truly seen it all, and let her words guide you toward a life filled with purpose, resilience, and genuine happiness. After all, the most valuable advice isn't always the loudest or the flashiest. It's the quiet, steady wisdom that comes from a life well lived, and that's exactly what we're about to explore. Let's dive deep into the heart of the wisdom our mentor has to share. In this section, we're breaking down each lesson into bite-sized insights and personal stories that will help you see how these age-old truths can be applied to your life today. We're not just skimming the surface, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of what really matters, from setting life priorities to embracing lifelong learning. So get comfortable as we explore these lessons in detail. Lesson 1, Life Priorities and Purpose. One of the first things our mentor stresses is the importance of knowing what matters most. In a world that constantly tells you to chase the next trend or material possession, she reminds you to pause and think, what do you really value? It isn't about how many likes you get on social media or how flashy your lifestyle appears on the outside. Instead, it's about understanding your inner drive and what gives your life meaning. Think back to those moments when you felt truly alive, not during the frantic rush of deadlines or the superficial buzz of notifications, but when you were immersed in something that resonated with your soul. Maybe it was a quiet morning spent with a loved one, a long walk in nature, or simply a moment of reflection on your dreams and aspirations. Our mentor believes that success isn't measured by external achievements alone, but by aligning your daily actions with your deepest values. She shares stories from her own life where she had to choose between what was expected of her and what she truly desired. There were moments when societal pressures urged her to follow a conventional path, but she learned that true happiness comes when you follow your own heart. Her advice is simple: take time to reflect on your priorities. Write down what's most important to you, whether it's family, creativity, personal growth, or something else entirely. Then let those priorities guide every decision you make. This isn't a one-time exercise, it's a lifelong habit that can evolve as you do. Lesson 2, Relationships and Love. In today's fast-paced world, relationships often get put on the back burner. We're encouraged to connect quickly and move on just as fast, but our mentor offers a refreshing perspective. She reminds us that genuine relationships require time, effort, and a whole lot of heart. It's not about how many connections you can accumulate. It's about nurturing a few deep, meaningful bonds that can stand the test of time. She tells us that when she was younger, relationships were built on trust, honest conversations, and genuine care for one another. There was no pressure to keep up with the latest dating app or to worry about how your connection looked online. Instead, it was all about spending time together, learning about each other's hopes and fears, and growing as individuals. One story she shares is about a friendship that lasted decades because both people invested in understanding and supporting one another through life's ups and downs. Modern research backs up her observations too. Studies have shown that people who cultivate deep, meaningful relationships tend to have better mental and physical health. Our mentor's advice is to slow down and focus on quality over quantity. Ask yourself, are you investing in relationships that nourish your soul? If not, consider what small changes you can make. Maybe it's scheduling regular time to catch up with an old friend, or being more open about your feelings with someone you care about. Love isn't just a feeling, it's an ongoing process of learning, forgiving, and growing together. Lesson 3, Health, Well-being, and Self-Care. When it comes to taking care of yourself, our wise mentor is all about simplicity and consistency. In an era of fad diets and miracle cures, she reminds us that real, sustainable health comes from the everyday choices you make. It's not about the latest superfood or extreme workout routine. It's about small, consistent habits that nurture your body and mind. She grew up in a time when people valued the basics: a balanced meal, a good night's sleep, and regular physical activity, often in the form of simple walks or chores that kept them moving. Today, while we have access to an endless stream of health advice online, her message is to cut through the noise. Focus on what you know works: eating whole foods, staying active, and taking time to relax and recharge. There's also a mental side to health that she emphasizes. Self-care isn't just about physical well-being. It's also about taking care of your mental and emotional health. This might mean practicing mindfulness, journaling your thoughts, or even just spending a few moments in quiet reflection each day. Modern science is beginning to echo these sentiments, showing that stress management and mental wellness are just as critical as physical health. So whether you're dealing with a hectic work schedule or the everyday challenges of life, remember that small, consistent actions, like a daily walk or a moment of meditation, can have a big impact on your overall well-being. Lesson 4. Overcoming life's challenges. Life is full of obstacles, and our mentor is living proof that it's not the challenges themselves, but how you respond to them that truly matters. She's faced her share of hardships, moments of loss, failure, and disappointment, but instead of letting those experiences define her, she used them as stepping stones toward growth. Her approach to overcoming challenges is all about resilience. It starts with accepting that setbacks are a natural part of life. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, she encourages you to look for the lessons in every situation. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? This mindset shift is powerful because it transforms obstacles into opportunities for self-improvement. She shares a personal story about a time when things didn't go as planned, a significant setback that at first seemed insurmountable. Instead of giving up, she took a step back, reassessed her priorities, and slowly began to rebuild. Along the way, she discovered that every challenge carried a hidden gift, a lesson that, once understood, could propel her forward in ways she'd never imagined. Modern psychology supports this idea, showing that resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop through facing and overcoming adversity. Our mentor's advice is practical. Build a support network, don't be afraid to ask for help, and always keep a positive outlook. Even when the going gets tough, remember that every storm eventually passes, and the lessons learned during those times can be the most valuable of all. Lesson 5. Respect, humility, and gratitude. In a world where ego and self-promotion often dominate, our mentor's message about respect, humility, and gratitude stands out like a beacon. She believes that these qualities are the cornerstones of a truly fulfilling life. Respect isn't just about how you treat others. It's also about respecting yourself, acknowledging your strengths, accepting your weaknesses, and always striving to be better. Humility, she says, isn't about putting yourself down or denying your achievements. It's about recognizing that no matter how much you've accomplished, there's always more to learn, and every person you meet has something valuable to offer. This attitude opens the door to continuous growth and helps you build deeper connections with others. Gratitude is perhaps the simplest yet most profound of these values. Our mentor often reflects on the small things: a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, or even a good cup of coffee, and expresses thanks for these moments. She believes that by focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you can shift your entire perspective on life. Research in positive psychology shows that gratitude can boost your mood, improve relationships, and even enhance physical health. Her advice is practical and down to earth. Every day, take a moment to list a few things you're thankful for. It might seem simple, but over time, this practice can transform how you view the world. Respect others by listening more than you speak. Stay humble by continuously seeking to learn, and let gratitude be the lens through which you see every experience. This approach not only makes life more enjoyable, but also creates a ripple effect that spreads positivity to those around you. Lesson 6. Financial wisdom and security. Money might not buy happiness, but financial stability plays a huge role in ensuring peace of mind and a stress-free life. Our mentor's financial advice is rooted in the reality that true wealth isn't about having the flashiest car or the biggest house. It's about being secure enough to enjoy life without constant worry about money. Growing up in a time when every penny counted, she learned early on the importance of budgeting, saving, and investing wisely. She's seen the highs and lows of economic cycles, and she knows that financial security comes from discipline and long-term planning. Her advice to young men is straightforward. Live within your means, avoid unnecessary debt, and always set aside a portion of your earnings for the future. There's a simplicity to her approach that cuts through today's obsession with instant gratification. While modern society often pushes the idea of spending to keep up with the latest trends, she reminds us that financial freedom is built on consistency and mindful decisions. She suggests starting small, perhaps by tracking your spending or setting up a modest savings plan, and gradually building up your financial knowledge. Over time, these habits can lead to a secure future where you're free to pursue your passions without being weighed down by financial stress. Her advice isn't about renouncing all pleasures, but about finding a balance that allows you to enjoy life today while also preparing for tomorrow. Take the time to learn about personal finance, consult trusted resources, and remember that every small step you take now can lead to big rewards later on. Lesson 7. Personal growth and lifelong learning. One of the most inspiring aspects of our mentor's life is her relentless commitment to personal growth. Despite being 82 years old, she remains curious, open, and eager to learn new things. Her message is clear: no matter your age, the journey of learning never ends. She recalls a time when learning was seen as something for the young, but now we understand that the mind can be a lifelong companion if you take care of it. Whether it's reading a book, picking up a new hobby, or simply asking questions about the world around you, every day offers an opportunity to grow. Her approach is refreshingly simple: embrace the unknown and don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Modern science has shown that continuous learning can help keep your brain sharp and even delay cognitive decline. But beyond the science, there's a more personal, emotional benefit. Learning new things opens your eyes to different perspectives, enriches your conversations, and even helps you form deeper connections with others who share your interests. Our mentor believes that curiosity is the engine that drives personal transformation. Her advice to you is to never settle for the status quo. Ask questions, seek new experiences, and always challenge yourself to learn something new. Whether it's exploring a subject you never knew existed, or simply refining a skill you already have, this lifelong pursuit of knowledge will keep you vibrant and engaged with life. She reminds us that every mistake is a lesson in disguise and that growth often comes from the most unexpected places. Lesson 8. Social responsibility and community engagement. The final lesson in our collection is about giving back and engaging with the community. Our mentor's life is a shining example of how a commitment to others can enrich your own life. In a society that often glorifies individual success, she found that true fulfillment came from contributing to the well-being of others. She grew up in a community where everyone knew each other and there was a strong sense of shared responsibility. Whether it was lending a hand during tough times or simply being there to listen, every act of kindness helped strengthen the bonds between people. Today, when technology sometimes isolates us, her advice is more relevant than ever. Reach out to those around you, volunteer your time, or simply offer a smile to a stranger. These small acts can make a big difference. Modern studies have consistently shown that community engagement not only improves mental health, but also creates a sense of belonging that can help buffer the stresses of modern life. Our mentor encourages you to see social responsibility as an essential part of living a balanced life. It's not just about what you can get from the world, it's about what you can give back. She shares stories of how helping others has opened unexpected doors in her life, leading to friendships, opportunities, and a richer, more meaningful existence. Whether it's through local community groups, charitable organizations, or just informal gatherings of friends and neighbors, the act of giving back creates a positive ripple effect that benefits everyone. Her message is simple: when you invest in your community, you invest in yourself. It's about creating connections that transcend the daily grind and remind you that you're part of something much bigger than yourself. Pulling it all together, each of these lessons offers a unique window into how to live a life that is rich, balanced, and full of purpose. They're not just abstract ideas, they're practical insights drawn from decades of lived experience. Our mentor's wisdom shows that while the world may change rapidly, the fundamentals of a good life remain constant. Whether it's understanding what really matters, nurturing deep relationships, taking care of your health, or investing in personal growth, these lessons are your guideposts for a more fulfilling journey. What ties all of these lessons together is a commitment to authenticity. Our mentor never shies away from sharing her failures alongside her successes. She shows that every setback is just a part of the process, and that the most meaningful victories often come after the hardest battles. Her advice isn't sugar-coated. It's real, raw, and entirely relatable. It challenges you to think differently about success, not as something defined by external achievements, but as a journey marked by continuous learning, compassion, and resilience. By taking these lessons to heart, you're invited to embark on a journey of self-discovery that transcends the trivial pursuits of modern life. Reflect on your own experiences, challenge your assumptions, and be open to change. Whether it's reevaluating your priorities, reaching out to build stronger relationships, or taking the time to learn something new, every step you take will bring you closer to the kind of life that our mentor so passionately advocates. In wrapping up these core insights, remember that the wisdom shared here isn't meant to be a rigid set of rules, but rather a flexible framework that you can adapt to your own life. Embrace these lessons, let them inspire you, and allow yourself the space to grow at your own pace. The journey toward a better, more fulfilling life is ongoing, and every day brings new opportunities to learn, to connect, and to make a difference. So, as you walk away from these insights, take a moment to think about how you can incorporate them into your daily routine. Maybe it starts with a small change, a moment of reflection each morning, a sincere conversation with someone you care about, or a simple act of kindness. Over time, these small actions add up, creating a life that's not only successful in conventional terms, but also deeply satisfying on a personal level. This collection of lessons is a call to action, a reminder that true wisdom is timeless, and that every challenge you face carries the potential for growth and transformation. It's an invitation to live with purpose, to cherish the relationships that enrich your life, and to keep learning every step of the way. And as you continue on your journey, remember that every day is a chance to build on this wisdom, to reflect on your progress, and to share your own insights with the world. In the end, the core lessons we've explored here are more than just advice. They're a roadmap to a richer, more balanced life. They encourage you to step back, breathe, and consider what truly matters. And that, ultimately, is the kind of wisdom that can guide you through every twist and turn of life. Now that we've covered the key lessons and insights from our wise mentor, let's take a step back and really dig into what these ideas mean on a deeper level. In this part, we're not just listing advice. We're unpacking each lesson, exploring how they connect to real-life experiences, and reflecting on the impact they can have on your everyday life. This isn't just an academic exercise, it's a conversation about how you can apply these timeless ideas to overcome challenges, build meaningful relationships, and create a life that truly matters. Imagine sitting down with a cup of coffee, having a long, unhurried chat with someone who's been through it all. That's what this analysis feels like, a friendly, no-nonsense discussion about life's twists and turns. Our mentor's wisdom isn't wrapped in complicated theories, it's raw, real, and accessible. And as we dive deeper into each idea, think about how it resonates with your own journey. It might remind you of times when you faced adversity, moments when a small act of kindness turned your day around, or those rare instances when a piece of unexpected advice shifted your perspective entirely. Let's start with the idea of setting clear life priorities. Our mentor talks a lot about knowing what truly matters, beyond the noise of modern society. Think about it. In a world obsessed with likes, follows, and instant gratification, it's easy to lose sight of what brings genuine fulfillment. Reflect on those moments in your life when you felt completely in tune with your true self. Perhaps it was during a quiet morning walk, or when you were completely absorbed in a hobby you love. These are the moments that remind you that life isn't about keeping up appearances or chasing fleeting trends. It's about investing in what truly enriches your spirit. When you start questioning what's really important, you begin to see that many of the things that seem urgent and flashy are actually distractions from a deeper, more satisfying existence. Moving on to relationships and love, this is an area where our mentor's advice really cuts through the superficial. In today's fast-paced dating world, it's all too common to settle for quick interactions that don't leave you feeling truly connected. But our mentor's reflections on relationships go far beyond the surface. She tells us that true connection comes from genuine conversations, shared vulnerabilities, and a willingness to really understand each other. Think about the people in your life who know you best, the friends and family members who have seen you at your worst and celebrated you at your best. Those connections didn't happen overnight. They were built slowly with care, patience, and trust. When you reflect on this, you might realize that the quality of your relationships is a direct reflection of the effort you put into them. And while modern technology makes it easy to stay in touch, it also makes it tempting to skim the surface. Our mentor challenges you to go deeper, to ask questions, listen actively, and create bonds that withstand the test of time. Now let's talk about health, well-being, and self-care. One of the things that really stands out in our mentor's wisdom is her emphasis on the simple, everyday actions that add up over time. It's easy to get caught up in the latest health fads or miracle diets, but she reminds us that real, lasting well-being comes from consistent, mindful practices. Consider the small routines you might take for granted: a quiet moment of meditation, a walk around your neighborhood, or even just taking a few deep breaths during a hectic day. These are the practices that build a foundation of health and stability. Reflect on a time when you ignored your body's needs because you were too busy chasing the next big thing. Now imagine the difference it could make if you shifted your focus to caring for yourself regularly, even in small doses. Over time, those small changes accumulate, not only boosting your physical health, but also your mental and emotional resilience. Overcoming life's challenges is another area where the deep reflections become particularly powerful. Our mentor doesn't shy away from the tough stuff. She's experienced setbacks, losses, and moments of deep disappointment. But instead of letting those moments define her, she sees them as opportunities for growth. Think about your own life and the obstacles you faced. Every challenge, no matter how insurmountable it might have seemed at the time, carried a lesson. Perhaps there was a moment when you learned something new about yourself, a strength you didn't know you had, or a skill you developed in response to adversity. Our mentor's message is clear: don't fear failure or setbacks. Instead, view them as essential parts of your journey. Every setback is like a rough patch on a road, but it doesn't stop you from reaching your destination. In fact, it's often those very moments of struggle that give you the resilience and wisdom to appreciate the good times even more. Then there's the theme of respect, humility, and gratitude. These aren't just buzzwords, they're powerful tools that can transform the way you experience the world. Our mentor's reflections on these values invite you to consider how you interact with others, and just as importantly, how you treat yourself. Respect isn't just about showing deference to others, it's also about recognizing your own worth. Humility is not about belittling your accomplishments, but about understanding that everyone has something to teach you, no matter their background or status. And gratitude? It's the practice of noticing the little things: a smile from a stranger, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. When you make a habit of gratitude, you begin to see the world in a more positive light. And that positive energy can ripple out into every area of your life. Reflect on a day when you felt overwhelmed by negativity. Now imagine if you had paused to appreciate even one small thing. How different might your day have turned out? Our mentor's approach is a gentle reminder that sometimes the simplest acts, being grateful, showing respect, embracing humility, can have the most profound impact on your overall happiness. Financial wisdom might not seem as emotionally charged as love or health, but it's a crucial part of building a secure and fulfilling life. Our mentor grew up during times when every penny counted, and that experience taught her the value of discipline and foresight. Think about the financial pressures many face today: debts, bills, the constant lure of consumerism. It can be overwhelming, but if you take a moment to reflect on her advice, you'll see that financial stability isn't about living a life of deprivation. It's about making informed, mindful choices that allow you to enjoy life without constantly worrying about money. Imagine the relief of knowing you have a safety net, of being able to plan for the future without the constant stress of financial uncertainty. That sense of security can free you up to pursue your passions, invest in your relationships, and focus on your well-being. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most valuable wealth isn't measured in dollars and cents, but in the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're in control of your finances. One of the most inspiring themes our mentor shares is the value of personal growth and lifelong learning. Even at 82, her curiosity and willingness to embrace new ideas are infectious. She challenges the notion that learning stops once you leave school, urging you to see every day as an opportunity to grow. Think back to a time when you learned something completely new, perhaps a skill, a hobby, or even a piece of wisdom from an unexpected source. Remember the excitement and the sense of possibility that came with that discovery. That's what lifelong learning is all about. It's about staying open, staying curious, and never letting complacency dull your sense of wonder. In today's world, where information is at our fingertips, it's easy to assume you already know enough, but our mentor reminds you that the journey of learning is endless. Each conversation, each experience, each mistake is a chance to learn and evolve. This mindset not only keeps your brain active, but also enriches your relationships and broadens your perspective on life. Finally, we come to the idea of social responsibility and community engagement. a theme that ties all the other lessons together. Our mentor's life has been a testament to the power of connection. She's seen firsthand how giving back, no matter how small the act, can create ripples that transform communities. Consider the simple act of volunteering at a local shelter, helping a neighbor in need, or even just being present for a friend who's having a hard day. These actions, though they might seem minor in isolation, accumulate over time to create a supportive, caring network around you. Reflect on a time when someone's kindness made a difference in your life. That feeling of being cared for, of being part of something bigger than yourself, is incredibly powerful. Our mentor believes that when you invest in your community, you're not only helping others, you're also nurturing your own sense of purpose and belonging. In a world that can sometimes feel isolating, these connections remind you that you're never truly alone. They reinforce the idea that our greatest strengths often come from the bonds we build with others. As we pull all these reflections together, take a moment to consider how each lesson interweaves with the others. Life isn't compartmentalized. Your relationships, your health, your finances, your personal growth, and your sense of community are all interconnected. When you improve one area, it often creates a positive domino effect in another. For example, managing your finances wisely can reduce stress, which in turn can improve your health and give you more energy to invest in your relationships. Learning something new can boost your confidence and open doors to deeper connections with others. Embracing gratitude can shift your entire outlook, making challenges seem more manageable and successes even sweeter. This deep dive analysis isn't about prescribing a one-size-fits-all solution. It's about inviting you to reflect on your own life. Ask yourself, which of these lessons resonates most with you right now? Is it the idea of reevaluating your priorities, or perhaps the call to nurture deeper relationships? Maybe it's about building resilience in the face of setbacks, or finding new ways to care for your health and well-being. There's no right or wrong answer here, just an opportunity to pause and think about what truly matters to you. In these reflections, notice how our mentor's experiences serve as both a mirror and a guide. Her life is filled with examples of how a steady, thoughtful approach can lead to lasting happiness. She never promised quick fixes or overnight success. Instead, she showed that real change comes from persistent effort, introspection, and the courage to face life's uncertainties head-on. It's a message that cuts through the superficiality of modern life and speaks to the heart of what it means to live well. As you listen to these words, consider how you might apply some of these insights in your own daily routine. Maybe it's setting aside time each morning to jot down your priorities for the day, or making an effort to reconnect with an old friend. Perhaps it's as simple as taking a few minutes to reflect on what you're grateful for before bed. The beauty of these reflections is that they are flexible. They can be adapted to fit your unique circumstances and needs. Think about the long-term benefits of integrating these lessons into your life. Over time, you might find that the stress of everyday challenges eases, that your relationships deepen, and that you begin to see setbacks not as failures, but as valuable lessons. This isn't a promise of a perfect life, but rather an invitation to build resilience, wisdom, and fulfillment through everyday actions. It's about creating a life that feels rich in meaning, where every experience, good or bad, contributes to your personal story. In closing, this deep dive analysis is a call to slow down and truly engage with the wisdom being shared. It's about turning off the constant chatter of the modern world and tuning into the quiet, powerful voice of experience. Whether you're at a crossroads or simply looking for a bit of guidance in your daily life, these reflections offer you a roadmap, a way to navigate the complexities of modern living with clarity and confidence. So as you take these reflections with you, remember that every day is a new opportunity to learn, to grow, and to connect with what truly matters. Let the lessons of our mentor inspire you to look at life a little differently, to cherish the small moments, and to recognize that wisdom is not something you find in a book or a quick online search. It's something that grows within you as you live your life, one day at a time. Now pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and consider the wisdom that has been shared. Think about how these reflections align with your own experiences and the choices you make every day. There's a quiet strength in taking the time to reflect, in asking yourself the tough questions, and in embracing the journey of self-discovery. It's in those moments of quiet contemplation that the seeds of lasting change are planted, ready to blossom into a more meaningful, balanced life. This is the heart of our deep dive analysis, a journey of reflection that connects the dots between past experiences and future possibilities, between individual choices and the broader tapestry of life. Let these insights serve as a gentle reminder that no matter how fast the world moves, The timeless wisdom of experience remains a steady guide, leading you toward a life that is not only successful by modern standards, but also deeply fulfilling at its core. And as you continue on your path, keep these reflections close. Let them remind you that every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every moment a chance to grow. With each step you take, you're not just moving forward, you're building a legacy of wisdom, resilience, and authentic living. That in itself is the most powerful reflection of all. Now I want to pause and ask you a few questions. What part of this advice resonates with you the most? Are there areas of your life where you feel you could make small changes that lead to big improvements? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Whether it's about rethinking your priorities, strengthening your relationships, or even reevaluating your daily habits. I'd love to hear from you because every insight you share helps us all grow together. Throughout this video, I'll be throwing in little prompts for you to think about. Maybe you'll want to pause the video and reflect on a personal experience, or even jot down a note about a small step you can take today to improve your well-being. Your participation is what makes this community so special. If you're still with me, hit that like button to let me know you're on board with these timeless lessons. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to join our growing family of people who believe in the power of shared wisdom. I also want you to know that while we're diving into some deeply personal and sometimes challenging topics, this is a judgment-free zone. The goal here is to learn from each other and to honor the wisdom that comes from decades of experience. So whether you're at the beginning of your journey or you've already been on this path for a while, your voice matters. Comment with your thoughts, and let's start a conversation that could help change lives. Before we wrap up, I want to share some extra nuggets of wisdom that didn't quite fit into our main lessons, but are just as valuable. Throughout my research, I came across fascinating theories and even some controversial claims that challenged the mainstream ideas of success and happiness. For instance, there's a theory that true fulfillment isn't about constantly chasing after new experiences or accumulating wealth, but about finding contentment in the simple, everyday moments. This might sound a bit old-fashioned, but our wise mentor's life is living proof that there's real power in simplicity. There are also studies that suggest the best advice might come from those who have experienced life in all its messy, beautiful forms. Some modern researchers argue that the stress and hustle of modern life often rob us of the wisdom that comes with reflection and slow living. In contrast, our mentor has embraced a lifestyle that values patience, mindfulness, and gratitude, values that many of us are starting to rediscover in our fast-paced world. Whether or not you fully agree with these ideas, there's no denying that they offer a fresh perspective on what it means to truly live. I've also found some interesting historical anecdotes that align with her advice. For example, there's a story from ancient China about a wise elder who advised young warriors to balance strength with compassion, a lesson that resonates even today. And then there are the modern-day life hacks that might seem unconventional, but have been tried and tested by those who've lived long, fulfilling lives. I encourage you to explore these ideas further, and I promise that the more you delve into the research, the more you'll find that wisdom transcends time. One bonus tip that really stands out is the idea of listening to your inner voice. It might sound cliche, but in a world where we're constantly bombarded with advice from every direction, sometimes the best guidance comes from within. Our mentor often says that while it's great to listen to others, the ultimate decision maker should be you. Trust your instincts, learn from your mistakes, and never be afraid to forge your own path. It's a message that many successful people, from entrepreneurs to artists, echo in their own journeys. As we share these bonus insights, remember that every piece of advice, whether proven by science or drawn from personal experience, offers an opportunity to reflect and grow. There's power in taking a step back, questioning the status quo, and daring to try something different, even if it seems a bit unconventional at first. And that's exactly what this channel is all about: exploring ideas, challenging assumptions, and ultimately finding a path that feels true to you. Let's take a moment to wrap everything up. Today, we've covered an incredible range of topics, from the importance of setting clear life priorities and nurturing deep relationships, to the practical steps you can take to maintain your health and build resilience in the face of life's challenges. We talked about the transformative power of respect, humility, and gratitude, the value of financial wisdom, and the endless benefits of lifelong learning and community engagement. Our wise mentor's advice isn't just a collection of old stories. It's a roadmap for a richer, more balanced life. The key takeaways are simple yet profound. Focus on what truly matters, invest in meaningful relationships, take care of your body and mind, learn from every setback, stay humble and grateful. Manage your finances wisely, never stop growing, and always look for ways to give back to your community. These lessons, though rooted in a lifetime of experience, are as relevant today as they were decades ago. I hope you found these insights as inspiring and eye-opening as I have. Every piece of wisdom shared here is a reminder that the journey to a fulfilling life isn't about following the crowd. It's about forging your own path, informed by the lessons of those who came before us. And if you're ready to start making those changes, remember that the first step is simply being open to learning something new. As we bring this video to a close, I want to leave you with one final thought. True wisdom doesn't come from the latest trend or the flashiest gadget. It comes from real, lived experiences. The advice from our incredible 82-year-old mentor is a testament to the power of reflection, resilience, and the simple act of paying attention to what really matters. I encourage you to take these lessons to heart, try incorporating them into your daily life, and see what changes unfold. In future videos, we'll continue to explore topics that challenge conventional wisdom and inspire you to live a more meaningful life. From deep dives into personal growth and mental well-being, to practical guides on building lasting relationships, there's so much more to come. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends, leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. I hope you leave feeling inspired and ready to take on the world with a fresh perspective. Remember, the wisdom of the past can light the way to a brighter future. Until next time, take care, keep learning, and always stay curious.